Good evening. Welcome to the 9 o'clock news. I'm your anchor, Carlos, because the tires are flat. Today's top stories. 5 out of 4 people struggle with math. Good evening, Talkin Trashers. Welcome to episode 108. We got a special guest in the studio tonight. It's Adam S., and he's a big Christopher Walken fan, so he's looking for more cowbell. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
We want to welcome our friends over at Midwest Recovery with 4 convenient locations. Please contact Danny at 1-800-444-4444. The first 4 callers get a free Whiznator. Urine not included. Back to Timmy.
Almighty. This is what I can't have those things. It's Midwest Recovery Centers. Their number is 844-552-1095.
Close.
Just another friend, another rehab. I think we have them and Discovery tonight watching. So hi everybody, you'll get your cigarette in 57 minutes. Hang out with us. We're just trying to figure out recovery because it's a lifelong thing and it's one day at a time. So we have a lot of support, but like we do this show for us as well. It's, I get so much out of this show. I have real friends in recovery. Like you think, when you were in active addiction and who were your friends? They were your dealer, the kid that said he was going to get you something, but he's messing around. You know what I mean? Like those aren't friends. Those are people using you to feed their addiction. And if you can't curb that and realize what it is, you'll turn into the same thing. You'll start doing that to everybody else out of necessity. And it's an ugly way to live. And thank God we've pulled out of it. But we all have a long way to go. And we bring in people like Adam and our other guests. We have like 15 other guests coming up real soon. That's what it's about. It's about sharing the message so we don't have to become that person that is friendless and can't be a friend. And it's true. It's hard. You know what I mean? Like this stuff, unfortunately, it doesn't come naturally to addicts, but it's something we have to work on and take our advice from those who know. So we'll take a quick look here at our guests coming up. Lives in Manny next Sunday. That's going to be a blast off.
Get ready to rumble.
Amy S. the following Sunday. Carol W. on the 8th of June. Robin B. on the 15th. It's pretty much every other show right now until, the 17th with Adam A. So yeah, we have, this is what it's all about. But what's nice is we still have an episode in the middle of the week where it's just us and we can do our thing and kind of set up, our shenanigans for the week. So we're always here Sundays and Wednesdays. Sometimes we're not always on point, but it is what it is. There's other times where we chop it up good, but we keep, anybody who wants to interact with us, they can come in, share their comments. But that's really it. That's talking trash. We don't claim to be anything special. We're us, and it's the 4 of us, and we're I don't keep saying we're grateful, but I'm thankful that I've found a way to live and not hate myself, and that's a hard thing for a lot of people, and that's why we use, and that's a big problem. So we are going to do our little preamble thing, and then we'll introduce the squadron, which is right here.
This is our humble broadcast where ethics and personal anonymity are of the utmost importance. We run this podcast as an act of service to those whose lives have been affected by addiction. We do not do it for profit or notoriety. We place principles before personalities. We benefit from this podcast just as much as anyone else. We all work programs and choose to sacrifice our own anonymity to spread the message that recovery is possible. We do this thing in an attempt to show as living examples that no matter how far down the scale we have gone, our experience can benefit others. Not only is that the 9th step promise, it's our creed we abide by here on Talking Trash. We feel called to uphold AA and NA's principles. We firmly believe that you can only keep what you have by giving it away.
Please join us for a moment of silence, followed by the Serenity Prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Here is your Talkin' Trash starting lineup. Let's meet the team, shall we? Number 9 at forward, Tim Snyder. He's cool. I mean, kind of. Hailing from the Great White North is our host, Jimmy Leibel. Great team member. We love him to death, even though he's Canadian. It's a fact. Everything's bigger in Texas, and our girl Kaista's recovery is gigantic. And then there's Willie Duggs. Will lives in a trailer. And we love him. All right. Let's get into it.
Yeah! Here we go now. 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 Here we go now.
All right. Well, that's us. Did our intros there. There's everybody. Hi, Kaisa. Hi, James. Hi.
Hola.
That is a nice bunny shirt thing you have
Bunny
going on
hugger.
there.
Hug.
Bunny hug. All right.
Hugger.
It's a hugger.
So here we are. 108, just doing our thing. One thing I did forget to mention is we're going to start having Liz on probably every other week, just to hit us with the clinical side of things, recovery, especially with Mental Health Awareness Month. We kind of want to get her in the mix a little bit so she can help us in that area, because there's a clinical side that we can't speak to, and we we shouldn't, because we're not clinical. But she's a great friend of the show, so we're gonna start having her as a part of the mix going forward. So let's go around the horn.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky is wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, nothing.
What's
Jumping
up?
with you.
Oh, Lord, lots of good stuff. My mom came home from the rehabilitation center today, so we're getting acclimated with her, moving around the house and stuff. Doing the life thing, coming at me left and right.
Yeah,
And
you're going through it. We know you are. And
I got some stuff going on, but you know what? I'll tell you what. None of it is a reason to pick up a drug or a drink. So, nope.
No, it is not. So,
It's
yeah,
not.
proud of you. We're happy you're keeping us in the loop. You're like family, you know what I mean? So, like,
Well,
one of
my
us,
family.
one of us is hurting, the rest of us are hurting.
Can I borrow $10, please?
Yeah, with the
Come clean the
exchange rate
house.
and all
Yeah,
that,
come on.
too,
I'll give you
so.
$10 to
That'd be
clean
worth
my
$5.
house.
It's good.
We have one of our co-hosts is Jim, and he is north of the border, out from Canada. Hi,
Bonjour.
James.
Well,
How are you?
One less Canadian team in the Stanley Cup. Go
I
figure.
know, right?
What it? Sorry for all the friends in Winnipeg, but crap happens. Anyway,
Brutal.
Yeah.
Well, hockey. It is hockey season. We are. It is here. Jimmy lives in Canada, but he's nowhere near anything. Like the closest thing is like Winnipeg, 9 hours away. So like, he's got his.
If you're walking, yeah. Backwards.
So what is I
Up a
actually,
hill.
yeah, both ways in the snow.
Both ways. In the
Uh-huh.
snow. Death by wolves.
Actually, yeah, so Jimmy is 62 years of age. He is a gentleman and a scholar. He's been with us for a few months now. He's just a staple amongst the Talkin trashes. What's the weather like up there, James?
Oh, well, last weekend we had the air conditioning on, and now we got the heat on. This morning it was actually snowing in Manitoba, the next province over. Yeah, so just wonderful. The weather changes here radically, but no earthquakes, no tsunamis, just flat land. Watch your dog run away for 4 days. It's all great.
That sounds boring.
Let me figure out the times here. The Leafs are down 3-0 in the second period. Halfway through the game, it's 3-0 Panthers. Oh shit!
Bye-bye.
Oh my god! We're going to do the 988 announcement for the people in Toronto because
they're going to need it.
Probably going to kill themselves without a doubt.
Well, they haven't won since 1967 was last time they won the cup.
Unbelievable. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Canavate. These are Jim's vapes. He runs forget it. Boo. I was looking for something else, but I can't find it.
A little sideline? Yeah.
Anyway, so like we said, we have Adam coming up in a few minutes. We're going to get into what's going on with him. I feel like I'm missing stuff. What is that noise?
Guess the dog.
That's Casey eating his squeezy, and I can't throw anything at him right now. Casey, shut up!
He's a bad dog.
He's a bad dog. He's crazy.
It is mental health awareness. It's an important thing to recognize because if you can't figure out why you started using in the first place, you're gonna go back to using. That's just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. You don't want to. You want to figure out why you had to self-medicate to begin with, and that's what we're here to try to figure out with you. There's a reason we had this empty hole, and we're here to just kind of check it out, see what's going on. Mental health awareness, ADHD, PTSD, OCD, all this stuff ties in, and it doesn't go away when you get clean. It gets worse, and you need to be on top of it, folks, with your clinical team and your support system. There's no shame in having anxiety, depression, any of that stuff. There's no shame in it. It's we're lucky to have the perspective to address it, and that's important. So nextly, we like to go to our friend. His name is Will Douglas, and there he is. Hi, Will. Hold on, I'm telling him all messed up today. Willie boy, what's going on with you?
Nothing much. Just working on getting my truck fixed. Just fixed my mow trailer, so took a couple days, but it works now. The lights and everything, but. As you know, my trailer engine blew on Thursday, so
I do know.
Now in the process of getting that worked out.
That's a rough one. I got to tell you, all right, this is outrageous. I just got to point this out. Will is crystal clear all of a sudden, right? 45 episodes we've been doing. He's blurry. I'm like, well, it's because he's in the middle of nowhere. He has terrible service, whatever. He had show us the screen protector, Will.
I mean, I work outside, so,
we get it. But,
see it.
Well, it's there, and it's a cracked screen protector. It's been covering up his camera for 40 episodes. It's unbelievable to me that it took this long.
We're slow learners.
That's us.
Yeah.
It is what it
you
is.
Don't know till you know.
That's a fact. All right, let's do some daily reflections since we have Franz.
Refractions.
All right, kids. All right, so for May 18th, freedom to be me. If we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. We are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness, and that's from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 83. My first true freedom is the freedom not to have a drink today. If I truly want it, I will work the steps, and the happiness of this freedom will come to me through the steps. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. Other freedoms will follow, and inventorying them is a new happiness. I had a new freedom today, the freedom to be me. I have the freedom to be the best me I have ever been.
Ooh.
There you go, kids. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That'll work.
Actually, don't smoke it. Don't smoke it.
I mean,
don't smoke it. Don't light it up.
Yep, main light it. Put it in a needle. And love that shit because you need it. It's it's freedom. What I don't know, Kaisa, how does this ring true for you, my friend?
Okay, so if we're painstaking about this phase, of our development, we'll be amazed before we are halfway through. Okay,
Right.
so when I first came in, I saw those promises, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I wonder who that's for.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, one day, I'm like, holy crap! Look at what I'm doing. And all of a sudden, I was, my eyes were open to so many different things. So I was amazed. And the other thing I want to say about is that I'm not even halfway through. I'm nowhere near halfway through. This is a lifelong journey. You will continually have new things happen to you that make you happy, give you inner perspective, and it's amazing. It's amazing because this keeps giving back as long as you work it.
What blows me away is that all I had to do was stop doing. You know what I mean? I just had to give up to the concept of being powerless and asking for help through people around me. And that's what AA is great for, church, whatever, support group, this podcast. We interact with so many people, and it's just, we can be ourselves. We don't have to put on any kind of a front. I can plan for a show, I can write out a million things, or I can just pop on here and it's just authenticity. So we don't have to do anything fake or put on any kind of a show that we're something that we're not. Will, the freedom to be you, that kind of that should be your motto. How does that hit for you?
Well, I mean, like, the way I would say it is, since I've gotten clean this time, for instance, like, say, my truck freaking went to hell, and so I mean, like, I mow yards, do soft wash, and all this stuff. Well, I mean, my dad's allowed me to use his truck temporarily, like right now for to pull the trailer just for like a couple days, but still, like, that would have never happened. And the people that I weren't able to get to, I mean, people that I called and told, hey, what the deal was. I mean, they believe me, they trust me, and they know that I'll show back
Right.
up,
Right.
And I'm out there. I'm able to work for myself.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling,
Have the, yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds good.
It's a blessing.
Hey Xavier, Dope,
That sounds
Lindo
awesome.
Rodriguez. I know you're falling in and out there. One day at a time, and some days 1 hour or a minute at a time, and that is
Absolutely.
well said,
Absolutely.
Xavier. And yeah, if I start looking too much into tomorrow, the next days, I'm gonna miss what's going on right in front of me, as Tim always does. You know what I mean? So like, it's you just have to just pump the brakes a little bit. Don't take yourself so seriously. And I'm talking to myself and everybody else out there. It's just you have to. It's self-awareness that comes with sobriety and having a clear head that you didn't have in the past, and now you do, and now what to do with it. Jim, I just wanted to ask you.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing? How's
I'm
things?
doing wonderful. Oh, just busier than heck. Actually, I had the opportunity and privilege to I chaired one meeting at one of our treatment centers here, and then Ryan, who was a guest a couple of weeks ago, him and I shared our story last night. We had a hoot. Well, we were described as those two guys in the balcony of the Muppet Show. So that was nailed it to a T. I guess I'm Waldorf.
Love it.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I
I love it.
that's the Muppets. Get it?
Yes, I get it. Apparently
Grouch.
now he lives in a composting bin now. That's what I've been told. Like, it's totally evil.
You've been told wrong. So yeah, we are looking at mental health awareness. It's important because there we all are. All this stuff kind of, like for me, like I didn't realize how whacked I was. And then do you get more, like, do you make things worse by using drugs? Do you rewire your brain? Do you make these things harder to deal with? It is what it is. You either deal with it or you don't, so that is that for Daily Reflections. What else do we have going on? Anybody have any announcements as far as Talking the Trash goes? Anybody at all? We have.
You already are people coming up. You already did that.
Yeah, we went through those.
And actually, I did receive an email from my good friend Mitch asking, like, "Hey, where's Clean Time?" So yes, we are going to be having Clean Time, but we are rethinking it because
Really
that
are.
7 minutes just doesn't justify your guys' efforts out there. So
That's brutal. That's a terrible way to put it.
What? Just remain patient,
I
and there'll be
know.
a brand new, improved, longer version that you guys all deserve to have a celebration of your sobriety. Yeah. So
I'm still trying
in
to
a
figure out the
nutshell,
cameras here.
yeah, no
Will,
kidding.
Jim.
Hi.
Hello,
There I am.
hi.
Look, I even get the graphic. I get the
Hi,
graphic
Jim.
up there for
Hey,
us.
how
Jim.
are you?
Hey,
Hey,
Jim. Hi,
what?
Jim.
Hey. Oh, here's a question for you guys. I was thinking about
Okay.
this. Why
Oh.
why don't they use the asphalt from speed bumps to fill in the potholes? Did you guys ever think of that one?
No.
Okay, who empties the wishing well? Does anybody think of that one?
God and Jesus does.
God, and Jesus. We have to close the stupid shit I think about in recovery.
Yeah. Why do you drive on a parkway and park in a driveway? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. Anyway, I'll introduce myself real quick. My name is Tim. I have my own music. I can't hide it. There it is. I'm 42. I live in Georgia. I run the show. I think Will put his screen protector back on.
Yes, he
Look at him.
did. Just a bit.
No, I
Those
didn't.
are beer goggles, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, we're just, I don't know. I'm trying to give back
No
the
beer here.
gifts that God's given me, and the show's evolving. We are going to be doing a lot of different stuff coming up, and you know, it's exciting. Jim gets all of the correspondences. Will, I gotta get rid of him. He's gone. Bye, Will.
Bye,
He's
Will.
back. Is he back? And he's a mess. Okay, so yeah, me and we'll do this for now. We're changing the format around a little bit. We're have a lot more guests coming up, and we want to accommodate everybody that wants to be involved, and that's the point of this whole thing. So anyway, Will, are you done stealing your neighbor's Wi-Fi? What do we got going on over here with you? Yeah, full screen. Hey, Will.
Mine's good.
Well, take off the screen
Take the
protector.
thing off.
Did you really put the screen protector back on? Don't do that.
It's right here. You can't see it. I
Oh
promise
my
I'll put the
God.
thing back on.
Well, I mean, I certainly. You're getting there. You're getting there. You go. All right. Anyway, Jesus Christ. All right. So we have a guest. His name is Adam. He's a good guy. Excited to hear what he has to say. And yeah, let's bring him in here. Adam, my friend, how are you? Welcome to Talkin Trash.
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, how long have you been clean and sober?
Just over a year.
Okay. How did that start for you? Well, like, was there an incident, or did you just know it needed to happen? We want to give you the floor, kind of tell your story a little bit, and then we'll do a
Sure.
little interactive. But yeah, we want to we welcome you, and by all means, take the floor and give us your story there, bud.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I'll start up here and then I'll go backwards. Yeah, about just over a year ago. It pretty much started. The reason I ended up sobering up, it was actually May 10th. I had gotten to a point where my drinking had gotten so bad. I was unable to eat anymore without really getting sick, I suppose. Unless I had a few drinks first. And I went about a week and a half without eating at all. And I'd gotten to a point where I decided that it just wasn't worth it anymore. And I, kind of figured out, what I had as far as assets went. And I really just had decided that if I couldn't end my life actively, I was going to just basically drink myself. I really didn't plan or want to see the end of 2024. And on May 10th, I went into the hospital because I was having a lot of pain. And I really went there just kind of to see how sick I was and see how much time I had left. But after they assessed me, they put me in ICU, and for some reason, when I got out, the day that I got out, which was May 13th of last year, I got drunk that night, and on the 14th, I got a hold of my doctor and told him I really needed to get in to see my GP. When I left ICU, they gave me enough medication to stay sober for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I begged them to, let me come in. So I knew if I didn't get some kind of medication to help, I would be drinking by Thursday.
Mm.
And they did. They got me in, and I've been sober since. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, so when you were concerned medically, right? That like a lot of alcoholics and people like us, we get scared of that initial just getting clean. What's day one going to feel like? What's day three going to feel like?
It was terrible, yeah.
Did they give did they were you medically assisted to get off alcohol? Is that what I'm
Oh,
hearing?
I was. And
Yeah.
actually, so I went in on Friday, and they admitted me. They wouldn't let me leave. I was really angry. I remember I was really angry with the doctor, so I wanted to go home. And they convinced me to stay. And on Saturday, I went into, I guess, what they call an alcohol psychosis. And I don't remember much about that evening. The head nurse, um, when she came in Sunday, she was not surprised. She said the way I was acting Saturday, she kind
Mhm.
of anticipated. I don't remember much about it. I remember security coming. Um, they threatened to put me under if I wouldn't calm down. They were going to strap me to the bed. I remember pieces of it. I really thought that my room was my house.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
remember calling the nurses a lot of bad stuff, telling them to get out of my house. Um, so yeah, if I wasn't there, I don't know. Um, well, if I hadn't been there, I wouldn't have quit drinking. I guess is the
Yeah.
point,
Right.
because I really didn't want to. Um, and I remember when I left Monday, I was really afraid, because when you're in ICU, they're checking on you,
Mhm.
hourly pretty much. And on the ride home, um, I know Kaiser would only recognize the city, but it's about an hour from where I live. And I was so excited to leave the hospital, but once I left, it was a very scary ride home as I thought about it, because I knew at that point uh, I could do whatever I want. If I wanted to
Yeah.
go home and drink, I could drink. But
Yep.
while I was there, they really took care of me.
That's good. I mean,
Mhm.
so now here you are a year sober. What is it? What are you doing for your sobriety today? Do you go to meetings? Do you have mental health? What is Adam
You know,
doing today?
I actually would like to. I'm gonna answer your question indirectly, but it all kind of falls back to the mental health part.
Hmm.
Um, I started drinking when I was 13, so I
Okay.
drank for about 38 years. I'm 53 right now. Um, when I started drinking, I grew up in a very violent household. Um, but my dad, when I was born, my dad had been home for 3 years. He had just gotten back from Vietnam, and drugs didn't really have the taboo in our household. It was um, the stuff that my dad or mom would do. I came from a relatively successful family, so my dad would at the dinner table, he would light up a joint just like anybody who would a cigarette, I suppose. Some of my, in some ways, fondest memories as a kid were doing stuff that, really, um, I would help my dad, dry out plants, hanging them up in the pole barn. So it didn't seem odd to me, but there was also a lot of violence and stuff as well when I was growing up. So I was unable to have friends over, and there were certain aspects that I just learned not to talk about. So when I was 13, I'm the youngest of three, and my sister and brother would take me to. We grew up in a town of 2,000 people, so there wasn't much to do other than drink and get in trouble. So I would go to keggers and just really enjoyed it. It was just a real release for me. That's why I started drinking, and but again, it was something that was normal when I went home. So I didn't think much of it as an addiction. It was just kind of what people do, right? And so anyway, I suppose fast forward to answer your question, in 2022, my mom and dad both passed away, and that took me really. That was really hard, even though I wasn't real close with my dad. But to watch them both pass away in the same year, so I started seeing a therapist at the behest of my GP for grief counseling, and that was in March of 23. And so I'd actually been seeing her about a year before I sobered up, and she's been instrumental in my sobriety. As far as AA, there's some very fundamental differences between me and what's done in AA, so I really have difficulty going there. But I have recently, over the last week, I've been going on a regular basis. But it's something I did talk to Kaiser a little bit about. I'm not sure that I really want to get into that too much. I don't know if I should. Growing up in a Roman Catholic church basically as a kid, and then we kind of set religion aside, at least my mom and dad did. It kind of got in the way of things. I've never been a real theist, I suppose. And when I go into AA, I guess my difficulty is I don't believe in a higher power. To this, and this again, I've been sober for just over a year, which is really not that long. Spirituality, I think, is such a complex subject. I don't think it's as easy as one would like it to be. When they enter AA, it's I think there's a lot of stuff that goes into coming to terms with spirituality, a higher power, if that's really something someone believes in. And even just yesterday, when I went to a meeting, they talked about forgiveness. That in and of itself is a very complex issue. It's not. It's not in the same respect as if I bump someone on the street and I say, "Oh, I'm sorry," or someone bumps me and they apologize. This is something that when they went around the room, I wasn't trying to be. I wasn't trying to not engage, but my response was, I don't feel qualified to actually say where I stand on forgiveness. I don't know. Is it something that subtly happened to where I actually did forgive someone and not really realize it? So I've been trying to do a mix of AA therapy and a lot of just personal growth. But I think, in my opinion, I don't really like to isolate addiction as describing me. I think addiction is part of who I am and always will be and always has been. But if I just claim that portion of it, I'm missing a bigger picture.
Well, I certainly find it interesting. I mean, on this show, you are free to feel however you want. We don't. There's no right way to do it as far as we're concerned. The only wrong way to do it is not to do it. But like you, I can hear there's pain behind, the forgiveness side of things and what you're going through. I mean, to each his own. I mean, it's funny. I'm just as I'm listening to Adam talk, I'm looking at our daily reflections and our just for today, and it kind of speaks right to it. It's making amends. It's who do you forgive? How do you forgive? Where do you draw that line as far as and I'm asking you, Adam, like at what point do you find yourself conflicted between thinking anybody deserves forgiveness, or like for me, sometimes I forgive people for myself. You know what I mean? I forgive them. They may be in the wrong as far as I'm concerned, but letting that go and not letting them live in my head rent free is therapeutic for me. That's something that's worked in the past. But that's just Adam. I'm coming up on 2 years too, so I'm not like I'm not too far ahead of you, and nobody's ahead of anybody here. We're just all kind of in this same boat, trying to figure out like what works and what doesn't work. And you certainly seem analytical as you come to your recovery and how you define yourself. I know it's a hard thing to do. You don't want to label yourself as something, which AA and recovery and the world tells you need to do. You don't you want you don't want it to define you. You want me. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I don't want to be defined as an addict. I may be that, and if untreated, I will act addictly or alcoholically, but I don't want that to be the only facet of who I am. So can you elaborate a little bit on the fact on where your head's at as far as like coming towards a year clean and how you feel today versus a year and a half ago?
Okay, sure. Let's see. I still, to be honest, I really miss, I miss certain aspects of addiction. I feel right now, I feel much more aware of who I am, and right now it hasn't helped my views on other people. I probably wouldn't label myself cynical, but definitely I don't know the right word.
Well, you're amongst good company there, because I'm a cynic through and through. You know what I mean? I'm as negative and pessimistic as I could be, but I own who I am. I'm a little rough around the edges. I have to be myself, or none of this works. And I can appreciate you being authentic, and I'm not. Nobody's holding that against you here. You didn't pick up a drink today, Adam, and that's what it comes down to.
That's a big thing. Also, I know it's important and germane to this show, but I stopped counting my sobriety days about 6-7 months ago. The reason why is, and actually I noticed when I was in AA, and I actually had a gentleman recently. He actually swore at me for this, which is okay. That's fine. But I don't go and get the chips when we go to AA. When I went back about a week and a half ago, I got a 24-hour chip. To me, that was the one that meant the most to me. And when we were talking and we were going around the room, I had mentioned that I don't really focus on how many days I have behind me. I don't think that's relevant to me, in me personally. And he said something to the effect, that the chips are not for us; they're for the new people. And when he hears someone that's been sober for a while not go get a chip, he just says, "Get your ass up there and get your chip." And I thought that was funny. Excuse my language.
No, you're fine here.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
calm. That's
And,
very calm.
I just thought, well, not really. I wouldn't agree with that. I think for the newcomer to come in, yeah, we have a lot to learn and see by example, but I would be cautioned for myself to actually point out how another person continues their own sobriety. Isn't it the lifeguard that says they save themselves before they save the other person drowning?
Yep.
If I stray from my path and I start drinking, that doesn't seem good for me or the new person.
Well, you're too smart for you're too smart for your own good. That's your problem. No, that's not your problem. You're trying to think this thing through, and a lot of us are like that. And as far as like the days, I know Jim, Kaisa, you guys can speak to that. I always told people don't count the days, make the days count. But then I'd also say count your days if it helps you. You know what I mean? So some people they need to because sobriety is so foreign to them. They need to see. I've been sober for 93 days. I can do it for a 94th day. Jim, Kais, I'm going to throw this at you guys. You guys are AA people. You know your stuff. Does Adam alienate himself in any way, or is he just finding his own footing? That's kind of what I think. But I get it. He doesn't want to label himself. What do you guys think?
Jim?
Oh.
Go for it.
Everybody's program looks different, and you get the old timers. Well, yeah, you got to go get those chips and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It could be very irritating. And Adam, just work your own program, and for everybody else out there, just work your own program. And if you don't want to write down your days, fine. As like I say, as long as you're not drinking just for today.
Yeah,
and for me, I journal and my day, whatever. But I don't wear that on my sleeve every single day. Like, so when I'm at a month or coming up to 4 years, great. But it's just that one day at a time. And we all start at that one day.
Yep.
I appreciate that, Jim. Thank you.
No, another thing that you mentioned, Adam, being raised Catholic, that fear, guilt, and shame. And that is a lot of people I talk to and I sponsor, they talk about their Catholicism really messed them up at an early age and messed me up because hey, I wasn't asked to be all this rigmarole and all the, So I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Yeah,
spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch.
I used to always joke about it. I probably still do, but it was really. I think I was destined to be having some issues. As you said, I grew up Roman Catholic, but I'm German, Irish, Catholic, and it's kind of a trifecta. We drink a lot, we fight, and we feel bad about it.
Yep.
It's
for sure.
I didn't have a good path.
Adam, can you speak to the stages of grief and how you went through them and what they look like for you and your sobriety? I always find them fascinating because whether we know it or not, we all kind of go through it. And grief doesn't have to be a person dying; it can be grieving not being able to drink anymore. At first, you know what I mean?
That is a great point. And but my grieving actually started with the loss of my folks, and it really just extended. I lost my dad in January of 22. It was foreseeable. He was 73. He had lung cancer, heart problems, smoked and drank up until probably about 3 hours before he passed away. And I'm not being flip about that. That is true. But he really went out the way he wanted. And that was good, considering what he went through or what he did to himself, really. respectfully. But it still was tough to lose him. And then when my mom passed, she passed away from dementia. So I really started grieving her because I live in Texas, but my mom was still back home. I basically started grieving her a year prior to her passing away. At the point that I couldn't talk to her anymore. She really didn't understand what a phone was and stuff. So, and then of course she did pass away. When I lost them, and this is very, very apropos to the topic at hand, is so when they passed away, I really started thinking about why we're here. What is the meaning? You know, what is going on? Where are they? You know, are they really just here today and forgot tomorrow? You know, and by the way, I still don't have an answer for that. So,
No, that's life, right? We're all trying to figure out why we're on this planet. What is
right.
the point? You know,
So,
is it the Matrix? I think we're in the Matrix, but you know, to each his own. You know, I don't
right.
know.
Just
Team, what do you guys
spots on the
think?
cat's tongue.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're getting we're getting existential now, but like, you know, we all are in different places here. Like, Will, I'm going to put you on the spot. Like, as far as being alive and living and talking and being on the internet and whatever, all this stuff, why are we here? And that's the hardest question I've ever asked a host or a guest or anybody. But I think you have an answer for it. Why do you think we're here?
I think it's you gotta. This is my personal opinion, but you gotta learn lessons in your life from. I mean, like, I don't know. You gotta learn these lessons and pass these lessons so you can move on to in your spiritual world. I think.
So is it all just
I
a
think
test? Is
I mean,
everything a test?
if you believe in like everything is a test, and
Yeah.
it's how you respond to it and how you act to it. And I mean, that's my opinion. You know, I have some
You're
kind. I
right.
mean, like, I'm spiritual, but I have some other like. You know, I had that whole entire like questioning and spiritual awakening and my own thoughts, or I mean, not own thoughts, but my own, like, you know, um, not, like just,
Your will,
looking out for things, you know, looking for things. But yeah, I do think that in life that you are here. I mean, I think we're here to learn lessons and it's, pass those, either break family curses, I mean, generation, like, curses, you know, or things that we've done, you
yeah.
know, for the next generation. And, you know, and once you learn these lessons, and, you know, then you can go on to your next mission.
So like that's got to be difficult for all of us. And Adam, you represent a huge swath of our recovery world. Why are we here now? All of a sudden we're sober and we're looking around and we're like, what is the point of all this? Why do we shit? That's my thing. I don't like shit, but like, why do we do? Why is life how it is? Is it all a test? Is it all there it is. And you know, it gets hard because all of a sudden it's an existential thing. Like, now, why am I here? Now I remember why I used to drink, because I didn't like this feeling of nothing made sense. Why am I who I am? Why do I look the way I am? Why do I feel the way I feel when I wake up in the morning? You know, and I think you represent a lot of people in recovery who can't quite figure out the higher power thing, or don't, and they're still trying to figure out why they are alive. What do I have to give? Because all I did was take for so long, and now I'm supposed to give back. Do I have anything? I mean, I talk to a lot of people just like you, about a year clean, questioning their own existence and why we. I mean, we're all here to be there for each other. That's what this show's about. You know, bringing everybody together. Everybody's welcome. But yeah, I mean, I still wake up every morning and be like, what the? Why is this like it is? I hate cold. I hate hot. I don't like the way poop smells. I don't like certain things. Like, there's all these things that you like that me personally I can't stand. But like, yeah, I get it. Adam, how long were you using? I mean, so you're at a year now. How long, like, were you actively? Have you ever had a year before, or is this like a new venture?
No, this is a new venture. The longest I had was 10 months. Well, no, 9 months and some change.
Okay. So you're at the spot where you're kind of in the middle, right? You're kind of like trying to feel your way through it. I could see it. I can appreciate it for sure. Um, you came to the
I
right
would
place.
I would like to add something just for anybody that's listening that may feel. Let me take that back. Um, I don't want to address people, but I will say for me, one thing that I really found helpful, I read a book called The Age of Reason, and it really put a lot of things into perspective for me, and I really felt like it was talking to me about thoughts I've had for a long time, but I didn't have the wherewithal to organize my thoughts. And then it gave me kind of an idea of why I believe we might all be here. It makes sense to me, and that's been a jumping off point for me.
So what is
To
elaborate on that? What is that?
Sure, The Age of Reason. It's a great book. The one thing I've been reading a lot of stuff about are from the Enlightenment period of the late 1800s,
Mhm.
and there's a book called The Age of Reason, and it was it really analyzes things. So anyway, what I took from that is deism is something that I really can relate to, somewhere between deism and humanist. Whether there's an actual creator, I don't want to get into all that. But what I really started thinking about, I don't know if you guys watch nature shows. I love those, and you see what a beautiful cycle nature is. And I always joke I would never want to come back as an impala or a sardine. You're pretty much on the menu for everyone. But
Yeah.
I started thinking about how we all, maybe individually, we have our own things, but communally, we all serve a purpose. And we're all really standing on each other's shoulders as well as supporting other people on ours.
Agreed.
You know, when I talk to my therapist, there's so many things that, we count on and rely on. The business I'm in, everybody wants to work Monday through Friday, and we work weekends, and but they don't realize how much they rely on people that work weekends. Just that example didn't come out right, but I mean, just everything we do. Excuse me, I should have muted my mic.
That's okay.
Everything that we do, we rely so heavily on everyone else, and you
Right.
take one little element out of that, and society as a whole changes direction.
You're right. You're right. I mean, this is
So
all a little bit above my pay grade, but for sure, like it's
that's
I
really given me focus.
yeah, for sure. I read a book called Many Lives and Many Masters, and it's about a psychiatrist who has a patient who has lived multiple lives in the past, and I don't know how I feel about it all. I don't know if I don't. Me personally, I feel like I've lived a life or two in the past. I won't get into all that because I think I'm nuts. But like
You should watch
honestly,
Shannon.
well, I mean, you already know. But like, yeah, it's like, what are we doing here? And like, you know what? I think the takeaway I get from this is that we're lucky enough to finally to actually look and say, what am I doing here? Like up until now we were drinking. It didn't matter what we were doing here. We were drinking. That's what we did. That's what we existed to do. Now all of a sudden we have this clarity. I think a big thing is not to overthink it. You know what I mean? But like for me, like I'm at a point where I don't need all the answers to everything right now. All I need to know is today is better because I don't drink, and I have better relationships, and I'm a better father. I'm a better person all around today because I didn't drink. But then to be able to look at all this stuff front to back, I've terrible analogy, but I tripped on mushrooms once, and I swear to you, I saw sound and I heard light. Right? That doesn't make any sense. But like, what is it? What does a fourth dimension look like? What does a seventh dimension look like? What is the river of time? All that stuff. Like, we're getting a little out of our ballpark here, but like you get sober and you're like, what are these things, and why do we have to question it? And does faith come in? Does a higher power come in? It can be daunting. But you're still here. You're still sober. You're a testament to people. Yeah, 1,000 people are going to watch this show, and they're going to be like, 477 of them are going to be like, I get where Adam's coming from. I'm right there too. Thank God somebody finally said it. We're not here to wall off anything. We're here for everybody. And like you said, everybody's got a role to play. Everybody's got a piece of this. I don't want to sound corny or cliche, but like we're all in this thing together. Go get them, sport. We got this. It's just we have to. We all are in it together. That's for sure. Because one thing we can't do is this alone, and no matter what that looks like, whether it's AA, NA, church, coming on and talking on a podcast, we interact with a lot of people through this program. I think I didn't mean to go full screen. I think we just have we have a responsibility to ask those hard questions and to acknowledge that we're not in control. Like we don't know what is. I don't know what is. But it's not me, because if I'm in control, I'm crashing this plane into the Potomac.
We've seen you driving before.
Yeah,
there's that. Yeah,
bad parking job.
Yeah. So I should be dead.
You got this thing against trees.
Yeah, I don't like trees at all.
And streams.
And streams. Yep. Here it is.
Trees and streams.
I showed this the other day, Adam. This is my drug screen from when I got into an accident in 2021. Pass for everything. Way to go, Tim. Gold star, A+. But like this should have killed me. I should have been dead here, and I woke up. So why are we still alive? Why do we have these second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances?
Right. Well, I'm really grateful for you guys. I think it's awesome what you guys are doing. I want to thank Kaiser. She's the one. I was on Facebook for a minute, and
our girl.
And that helped me when I felt very isolated. And that's something I will say is regardless of what you may think, I definitely thought that I would not be welcome in AA. I thought, who really wants to listen to me? And I was so wrapped up in my own story that I thought nobody would understand. And I don't think it's from maybe it's a self-centered standpoint. Maybe it's more just insecurity to let people know. But the one thing I have seen, and definitely I saw it on Facebook, and I've seen it, just going to the meetings, there's commonalities that we all have. And the one thing I really need to work on, because I'm not perfect at it, I tend to say things that are kind of triggers for people, and I don't mean to, but I try and share my story so that people, my intent behind it. So if anybody's watching, when I say this stuff, I'm not saying it's the way to do it, but I'm saying that if you feel that you're doing something different than what people expect, still try and be yourself. It's going to be your best weapon, and people will understand. And you guys are a testament to that.
You're absolutely right, Adam. And like we always say all the time, doesn't matter what age, creed, sex, religion, whatever. We're now all on the same playing field, right? So I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. Prior to coming to recovery, everybody judged each other. Well, I'm better than he is, or she's not. But here we're all equal, and the playing field is level, and the mic is wide open, and there's people that need to hear every side of it because everybody's going through it. So it's let's see, Chuck's jumping in real quick. Do you all like the old expression that the opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's connection? Shut up, Chuck. Go somewhere else. Just kidding. Well, that's actually pretty well said. It is. It's not.
Thank you, Chuck.
Sobriety is just not drinking. There's a huge difference between recovery and sobriety. Sobriety is just putting down the bottles, putting down the needle, putting the pills away. But if you're not recovering, that you're just going to go back to it. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to tell anybody what they're going to do or what they aren't going to do. But like for me, if I'm not living recovery, Tim is going to go back to shooting opiates somehow. So being aware of that and being self-conscious that I need Will and Kaisa and Jim and I need the support that I seek out through AA. And I do the same thing. I go to AA. I don't do the steps. I do all kinds of stuff. to try to keep my sobriety. And you're looking at 4 different people here that do things 4 different ways. But the commonality is we're all addicts. We all admit that, and we all come together on this platform.
And notice how many times you said we.
Mhm.
So no matter which path you follow,
Yep.
It's still a we thing. It's not a I. It's not a me.
Mhm.
It's a we. So
Right.
there you go, Chuck. How's that answer your question?
It's great. Great way to
Ooh.
put it. And it's an
Touche.
evolving. It's ever evolving. I mean, today's answer is not going to be the same answer as tomorrow. It is what it is. The only thing that we need to make sure is that the 4 of us, 5 of us are here doing what we're doing now, and trying to message that recovery is worth it, and even though it's scary and you don't know what's to come and why we're here and what's my role, just at first, I guess, just kind of hang on, keep coming back, as they say, and it may never fully click for me, for any of us, but as long as I die sober, I'm okay with that, because I'm not perfect. I'm the furthest thing from perfect. I have a podcast and I tell everybody what a piece of shit I was, but ultimately being able to do that, is liberating for me too, because I lived in the fear of exposure for so many years. So Adam, thank you so much. We're going to do clean time. If you want to hang on with us and finish the show out, I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And it's been a minute, so let's do some clean tizzle.
Ooh, here we
It's
go.
that
There
time.
you
It
go.
is
Get ready,
clean
kids.
time. What is clean time, you ask? Well, glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. Clean time is the amount of days or years that you've been clean and sober. We're a family here on T-Dubs, so let's get into our clean time segment. Nice up.
Christine A, 52 days.
Woohoo.
Go, Christine. Keep coming back. Francis D, 56 days. Go, girl.
Go right on.
Daisy M, 62 days. Go,
Holy
Daisy.
moly.
What?
Ricky D was 66 days.
Oh my God.
Go, Ricky. Anthony S, 79 days. Go, Anthony.
Boy, yeah.
Michelle D, 82 days.
Zowie.
Go, girl.
82.
Sierra P, 85 days. You go ahead on, girl.
What?
Carol P, 87 days.
Awesome.
Alex M, 90 days.
Holy guacamole.
What?
There he is.
Mitch C with a hundo. You know.
Woohoo.
Ella S, 101 days.
Girl.
Matthew D, 102 days. Woo. LaRonda S, 135 days. Go, LaRonda.
Oh, blimey.
Corbin TJ, hey, 135 days.
Goodness gracious.
Anonymous, 137
freely.
days.
Mamma mia.
Mark B, 139 days.
Holy cow.
Misty H, 150 days.
And Mario.
Deborah H, 159 days.
Amazing.
Daisy McLean, 170 days. Go, Daisy!
Woohoo.
Jeanette R, 171 days.
Holy mackerel.
James C, 183 days.
Okay.
Dustin W, 188 days.
Holy camole.
Tara D, 204 days. Go, Tara.
Oh, yeah.
Timothy F, 207 days. Go,
Oh, my
Timothy.
God.
Jason D, 223 days.
Yeah.
225 days. Go, girl. KW, 235 days.
Woohoo.
Haley M, 239 days. Go, Haley.
Jeepers.
Skylar
Good job.
S, 242 days. Go,
Right on,
girl.
Skylar.
David M, 242 days. Go, David. Valencia K, she got 247 days.
Caramba.
Vanessa M, 270 days. 77 days. Alex B, 283 days. Destiny J, 291 days.
Boy, DJ.
Daniel G, 294 days.
Good golly.
Michaela B, 308 days. Go, Michaela, girl.
Oh, girl.
David
Go
D,
back.
321 days.
Right on.
AJH. AJ. Mr. J, sorry, honey.
Crikey.
Crikey. Steve W, 347 days.
Put a
Johnny
shirt on.
J, 354 days.
Oh.
She had a year.
Maria, I'm
And she's
Mr.
so glad.
366 days.
I
Jen
get it.
M, you got
Rip the horn.
370 days. Jerry B's got 371 days. You go. Mandy J with the kissy 425 days. Oh, Jamie M. Hey, girl. 340 days. 430 days. Sorry, my bad. Deshaun B. 436 days. Desiree M. Hong Kong. 456. Oh, my God. 471
Katie.
Katie M. 505 days. Kobe J. 555 days.
Couple Jeff G.
562 days. Woo, Ronnie J, friend of the show. He don't play. 572 days. That's right. Bella J, friend of our show. Love you, girl. 583 days.
Good job.
687 days. Jimmy the Liable. We love you, Jimmy. 3 years.
Stand on guard for me.
And then we've got Amelia Q with 3 years.
Heavens to Betsy.
Jeffrey S, 3 years.
Keepers.
April.
Ooh, April. 4 years. You go. Woo, look at that. Pretty colors and stuff. Tyler B, friend of the show, 4 years. Stella M, Hong Kong, 4 years.
Good job.
There's our buddy Billy Foots. 4 years. Go, baby. Maddie Matata. Our friend. 5 years. Oh, there's that girl. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She's cool. 5 years. Khadijah. Simon C. with it.
Oh,
6
yeah.
years. Go
Good
on,
job.
kid. Nikki there.
Hello, girl.
Tina C. Our girl with 8 years. Go, Tina. Hi. We've got Neil K. with 13 years.
Oh,
Ryan K. with 26
Oh
years.
my goodness.
How did
Butter
he
my
do it?
biscuits.
Who's the best person in the room? Hey, Summer.
Robert S. 27 days. Woohoo.
One more,
Woo,
Stephen.
Stephen P. 29 days. You go ahead. On with your bad
How
self.
it's done, kid.
Way to go, everybody.
Right on. Way to go, Clean Timers. Great job. Hey, you want to be on Clean Time? Email me, Jim at trash-podcast.com. Hit us up on them socials. That Facebooky, that Instagrammy, that TikToky, that YouTubey. Whatever you got to do, send me an email. We'll get you on Clean Time. Don't forget to clean behind them ears. Rub-a-dub-dub.
Don't forget to take a book to the toilet with you.
Yeah, exactly. Or your phone. I mean,
Oh, that's right. You can read your phone too.
I dropped my phone in the toilet the other day. It's fine. Can you imagine? Like, that's where we've come with technology? Is that
Yeah,
you
no.
can drop your phone in the
Nope.
toilet? And...
I dropped mine in the pool.
Where was
Really?
Adam in our Clean
Yep.
Time? Where was Adam?
Dove
our
right
Clean
in,
Time?
got it out. Didn't even have
Adam-
to put it in a bag of rice.
Our guests don't make the clean time
Sorry.
until we've already had them as a
Ooh,
guest.
there
So.
is-
You've been vetted. Okay.
But
You've
Adam
been vetted,
doesn't
my
count as
friend.
days, so to each his own, right?
There you go.
Kind of goes.
Mhm.
Sorry. So that's our clean timers. Some people need it, Adam. You know what I mean? And to each, I mean, I actually don't even. I'm reminded of my clean time when it comes up here. I know that I'm almost 2 years. I know that, but I don't know. Every hour, every second. I have an app that does that for me, so that's
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
doesn't really matter. But I hear you on that. We certainly understand where you're going from. So Mental Health Awareness Month. What else do we have to look at here before we hit the road?
We got some jizzling of the dizzle.
We do. I want to real quick
My
for the Maple Leafs fans, everybody in Toronto right now.
Is doing math.
It's it's an empty net with 3:50 to go, and it's 5-1 Panthers. Sorry about your luck, Toronto. Tough break for you guys. Man, they are choke artists. They are choke artists.
yeah.
It's unbelievable. God. So if you get hammered and are alive tomorrow in Toronto, get the Meeting Finder app. It'll get you to a meeting. Same thing with AA, NA. It's all out there. I really don't need to. I mean, you take a picture of this thing on the screen or whatever, but if you have half a brain, you can type in AA in their app store. Narcan, for the love of God, please.
Narcan.
Get Narcan. It's
Get it.
It's super important because I'm tired of hearing about our people dying because they don't have Narcan. It's such a simple thing, but it's you don't think of it. The people that need to get Narcan are the people that aren't in recovery. The people who have a son who I don't know, maybe he is a partying phase or whatever. But just keep it on hand because the days of dabbling in drugs and doing a little cocaine, see what happens, it's over. They no longer exist. So check us out on our social medias. We're on everything. I don't do that great of a job, but we're out there. If anybody wants to get in touch with us, they can easily do that. And yeah, I just wanted to, thank our guest, Adam. You were a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you. We like to hear
Thank you,
every
Adam.
side of it.
Thank you
That
so
was
much.
great.
So
Hey, I
welcome-
will say, if you don't mind,
yeah, please.
I would like to say thank you for posting that about the suicide, the hotline. I think that's really important.
Mhm.
I lost a family member. Addiction's been really big in my family, and thank you. And a family member of mine at 60 years old shot himself after years of addiction. And I remember when it happened, I was still drinking myself, and I just thought, what would it be like to be at that point in your life? And there's people out there, so thank you so much for posting that. That means a lot.
That thank you for thanking us. It means a
Yes.
lot to us too. We
Yeah.
lose people all the time, and we've if all of us are looking, all 5 of us, I'm sure, have wanted to die at some point. And it's just, what do you? I mean, for me, I'm so selfish, drinking, using, doing all this stuff for all this amount of time, hurting everybody. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to check out, and I get to leave, and everybody else has to deal. All the normal sober people have to deal with the loss of Tim. Like I'm anything special. It's just it's such a selfish thing to do. But I certainly understand and empathize with getting to that spot where you're done. I get it, and we just need to. We're here for support for everybody. That's what we're here to do. So 988 is a great resource. 911 if it's an emergency situation, but 988 is a very important resource. So, all right. So we like to read a little bit of a Just for Today before we hit the road. So we have a little something to take with us, and it is Just for Today. And my best friend in the world, Will Douglas, reads it for us. Will, would you like to read Just for Today?
Here's William.
He's not on the stage for some reason. Hey, well,
Oh, okay.
welcome back. Go ahead. Oops. Go ahead. Just for Today.
I'm still backstage.
No, we can hear you. You can
We
talk.
can-
Backstage.
Idiot.
Can you
It
not
doesn't
read the
matter.
thing?
We can hear
You
you.
can, no, here, wait. Here, go ahead, read
There
it.
he
How
is.
you gonna-
I can't see. All I
Right.
see is
This is ridiculous. Will, we do this every show. You don't see
all I see is my stuff. It says you're backstage.
Well, you're not backstage. All right. I mean, how
I
about
don't see it.
Okay.
Just for today? It's about friends and amends. I'm really concerned why Will doesn't see what we see, but
I
it's
see
to each of
Adam
them.
on the main screen, and then I see me on your backstage.
Okay.
There you
Well,
go.
we'll just.
We may direct amends to such people wherever
Good guys,
possible, except when to do so would injure them or others.
Sorry. Yes. And go
Okay.
ahead.
In every relationship, we don't always handle things the way we would have hoped. But friendships don't have to end when we make mistakes. Instead, we can make amends. If we are sincerely willing to accept the responsibilities involved in friendship and make the amends we owe, those friendships can become stronger and richer than ever. Making amends is simple. We approach the person we have harmed and say, I was wrong. Sometimes we avoid getting to the point, evading an admission of our own part in the affair. But that frustrates the intent of the 9th step.
Mhm.
All right. To make effective amends, we have to keep it simple. We admit our part and leave it at that. There will be times when our friends won't accept our amends. Perhaps they need time to process what has happened. If that is the case, we must give them that time. After all, we were the ones in the wrong, not them.
Right.
We have done our part. The rest is out of our hands. Just for today, I want to be a responsible friend. I will strive to keep it simple when making amends.
Yeehaw.
Well,
Thank
I
you,
mean,
guys.
Adam was saying that too. Forgiveness. Who do you forgive? Who do you ask for forgiveness from? It can be tricky because like a lot of people do their do their amends list, and it turns into a resentment list. If their head's not in the right spot, they're starting to point out other people's problems and why they caused you to be who you are.
That's what step 4 is for.
Exactly, and that's what step 4 is for. And you work it with a sponsor. You go through the steps the right way, and this can work. But it doesn't have to be cookie cutter. We just said that it does not have to be one size fits all.
Nope.
You can take a piece from here, a piece from there.
Yep.
Do whatever you got to do. So let's go around and just closing thoughts. One from Jim Leibel, former Jaywalker. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Thank you. Well, just want to thank Adam for coming on and just sharing his views. And it's, as he said, everybody's program is different, and if you don't have to agree with it, and just pick and choose what works for you.
Yeah,
it's that simple. So
exactly.
Once again, thank you, Adam, and it's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
For sure. Appreciate you coming on, Adam. You're great. Nobody has to come on here and put on a show. You just come on and be real, and that's exactly what you did. And I guarantee you touched other people in this whole recovery thing. So, Kaisa, any parting words of wisdom?
I just want to say, Adam, when you talked about your family, and how the drug thing was not a big deal when you were growing up, it was like that in my family too. So I never had anybody telling me what I was doing was wrong. Right. It only became way later in life, after many years of, using and abusing, that, I have a problem. But I just want to say nobody's got the corner market cornered. That one. Which one? Yeah, on recovery, and it is, it's what works for you. I certainly can't tell anybody what to do. I can tell them what worked for me. And, and I also get out and do other avenues. And now I'm doing some Buddhist meditation, and I love that. That's awesome. Amazing. In addition to what I do already. So,
well, then that's what it is giving back, right? In some way, shape, or form, however we can.
Which I feel is the reason why I am here. The reason why I didn't die was to be here to help people.
It is. And I counted your yawns this episode pretty good. Only 2. So, I think we're trending in the right direction. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, for good measure. So that's us. Will, I know your truck's a mess. You're a bad country song right now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. Blink twice, William.
I want to say thank you to Adam, and I think that we all volunteered to be here to raise the Earth's vibration.
I love it.
Love it. That
Willie.
is so deep.
Love it.
Love it. Dolores Cannon for you.
I was just going to say.
Where
that was coming from.
I wonder why you couldn't hear. There was a lot of technical things going on this episode.
No kidding. Oh.
Not me. That's just our platform thing is changing and upgrading, and I don't know. It's hopefully it works out. And that's it. What do I have to think? Nobody really cares what I have to say, but we have a nice show coming on soon. We have Liz and Manny next Sunday, Amy S. June 1st, Carol W. The 8th, Robin B. episode 116. Another Adam on the 117, and then Simon Cross will be back on, a returning guest and friend. This is what it's all about. Manny's involved. We're just I'm kind of helping out Manny with his new venture. He's got so many different ventures.
He's a busy man.
He is a busy gentleman, but he's our boy.
He is.
It's one of our people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're lucky to have him. We're lucky to have everybody. So, again, Adam, thank you so much for coming on. You're what makes this thing tick. It's not us. It's the reality and the honesty from everybody. We just finally stop putting up on our show and start being ourselves. And I think that's such an important thing to continue to do. So, Adam, thank you for coming on. We appreciate your time and your effort and your message.
Thank you, Kaiser. Thanks for opening the door for me. Thanks for being a friend of mine. And thanks, Jim, Will, Tim. Thanks for letting me come in. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Adam.
Our pleasure.
Thank you, Adam.